we've reported that you have lost, around 25 members of your family again in this current war. Tell me how you're holding up.
It's not easy. It's very painful. It's dreadful to see what is happening now. And even when my daughters were killed, the 16th of January 2009, I said it afterwards. If I could know that my daughters were the last sacrifice on the way to freedom and peace, then I will accept it. But it's continuing to see thousands of people to add more bloodshed, and it's not the way. I said it as my daughter Bisan, who was killed at the age of 20. She said, violence will never be met with violence. As a Palestinian refugee who is experiencing Nakba, killing, death, suffering all of the time, there is another alternative way, which is the freedom, the justice, and peace for all. And we tried everything. As Einstein said, insanity is to repeat doing the same thing, and we expect different result.
Yeah.
We tried every possible way, and it's time to stop it. What is more painful, where the death smell spreads in Gaza Strip and the silence of the international community. It's a test for the international community to step and to ask,
Dr.
what can we
Abulaish,
do instead of...
I need to ask you now, because
Yes.
this is a very different matter than what happened to you back in 2009. Hamas slaughtered 1,400 Israelis in the very same area where you went to work in the hospital there, that I visited you in the hospital inside Israel all those years ago. This is what Hamas has brought onto you.
You know, I am coming here as a Palestinian, and I'm not representing any faction but even what is happening is not happening and coming out of the blue. When a patient comes to me with a broken arm or a broken leg, I will ask what is happening before and why it's happening. And it's not the time to blame or to condemn. Someone today is condemning, and then one day will be condemned also. So it's time to focus on stopping the bloodshed. As a medical doctor, I never blamed my patient. I am here to save lives and to find an alternative way to put an end to this vicious cycle.
Okay, so I'm going to ask Shlomi now, because I can see you shaking your head a little bit. And I know, and you know, that that famous call you had when Dr. Abulaish called you in distress contributed to ending that operation Cast Lead. What do you feel today when he called you about the latest victims in his family?
I must tell you, Christian, that it's a different time. I'm not sure that I can open my speaker if the same tragedy, if I'll get a phone call from Gaza Strip. Even me, and forgive me, Dr. Abulaish, we are friends since your tragedy. After I've heard what happened in Gaza, our settlers and the slaughters and everything, and killing and murder and raping women, and I couldn't find any place in my heart to call my friend in Gaza to ask them after the war began, because we're in a different time. Something that I'm searching my soul. It's a soul searching. What is happening? Even to my coverage, was blind? Didn't I see everything from Gaza Strip? Did I believe that we can find any consideration from Hamas, with Hamas? And unfortunately, the answer is no. It's a different time. It's a totally different time, and it's our time to grieve, to feel the pain, to try to find any solution. And it's very hard to see everything is here in this place.
I'm going to come back to you, Shlomi, but finally to you, Dr. Abulaish. Can you still keep to your philosophy, which is, I shall not hate?
I will keep it, and I believe in it. And as my friend Shlomi, he said, what he said, I respond to that. Life is what we make it. Always has been, always will be. It's in our hand, and we have to change the context and the root causes of what is happening in order. And it's not with revenge, because revenge will never be met with revenge. Violence will never be met with violence or hatred. It's to sit on the table and to acknowledge the rights of all, because I fully believe the freedom, the justice, the future, the life, the security, and peace of Israelis is linked and dependent on the Palestinians' freedom, safety, security, and life. And that's what we need now to stop the bloodshed and to focus on saving lives.